how I went from working 80 hours a week to working only 5 hours a week in 3 years. My name is Daniel Wood. Welcome to Momentum Property Education. We're really excited to have you here. Make sure you subscribe to our channel so you get updates every single week on how to create passive income, how to succeed in property investing, and what is going on with the economy so you stay up to date. Now, back a few years ago, about 8 years ago now, I was working as an HR consultant and I was working about 80 hours a week, right? I'd be in the office from, 7 a.m. I'd be working to about 7 p.m. and then I would have to work on the weekends. So it was insane. I mean, yes, I was very, very well paid. I made good money, but I was definitely not happy. I was missing my children growing up. I was not spending time with my wife. I was not spending time, I wasn't very healthy. I had gained weight. I weighed probably about 20, 30 kilos more than I do now. And it wasn't good weight. It was bad weight. And I was just exhausted. I just wasn't happy with it. And the problem was I just didn't know another way, right? Growing up, we learned that get a good education, get a nice stable job, and you'll be set for life, right? And that's what I had done. I'd gotten myself an education. I had a marketing major. From there, I got into the corporate world. I got into HR and recruitment. And so I had a great career going, but I felt like I was in this hamster wheel and I was never going to get out. I was going to run until my legs gave way and I would fall off down the wayside. And I knew I wanted something different. I knew I needed to make a change. And me and my wife, Gisela, sat down together and talked about, what is it we actually want? What is it we want to do with our lives? Where are we going? And when we sat down to set that goal, the only goal that excited me, the only thing that I felt like this would be worth fighting for was retirement. Yeah, it was being able to retire and have some freedom, have some time with my family. And we set that as a goal. We wrote that down. We said, our goal is to retire. Now, how do we do that? And we started doing a calculation. We started looking at if we start saving every penny. I mean, my wife worked as well. I was working. We're making good salary. So we thought if we save every single penny, how long will it take before we have enough money to live off of and be able to survive? Now, we weren't investors. No one in my family had a background in investing or entrepreneurship. So we didn't really know what a quality interest would be or return would be. So we were just working off of a 5% per annum return. And when we did the calculation, if we saved every dime we made to have enough for us to live on, it would take us 100 years of saving. And so we looked at it and went, well, okay, so we're up for retirement in, 30, 40 years. So let's just wait for that. No reason to save for 100 years. And we started, but still thinking 30, 40 years in a job, I didn't know how I was going to handle it. I didn't know how I was going to be able to cope. And so we started thinking, how could we do it differently? What could we do differently? And so we thought, all right, maybe if we invested, right? Because if we save every month and then we invest and that investment makes profits and we keep saving, that becomes like double the revenue streams. Maybe we can get that from 100 years. We can get that down a little. Maybe we can retire sooner. So we started looking at different types of investments. And like I said, we had no background, but we tried stocks. We tried bonds. We tried options. We tried commodities. We tried gold. We tried all these different things. And we had no experience, but we thought, how hard can it be? And so we started doing these trades. How do you think that went? Yeah, we lost money on every single trade that we made. And we were so close to giving up. Well, actually, we did give up. We said, look, this doesn't work. And it was years later before we dared get back into it. And it was when we read this book. You might have read it. You might have read it if you're here. You might have read the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That book changed my life because it talked about how to build assets and how to create that income that comes from assets and that way move quicker and quicker towards your goal, creating that compound effect out of it. And I got so excited. And one of the things they talked about was investing in property. And I got so excited about the opportunity to invest in property, to build a property portfolio, that I find that we said, all right, let's do it. Because if we can do that, every property we buy gives us a raise for the rest of our lives. And if we buy enough of these, one day we'll be able to quit. So we started that journey. And I'm not going to bore you with the details, because on the way we got ripped off for 400,000 pounds. We almost went bankrupt. We turned it around, but not to get into those details. We talk about those in other videos. So please make sure you subscribe to the Momentum Property Education channel here, so that you get those updates and you can go back, you can watch some of these videos. But we were able to get to a point where we had over 30 flats. We had what's called HMOs, where we rent out properties by the room. We were doing different types of deals. Today, we've actually also founded a golf resort, which is kind of fun. We were able to finally quit our jobs. And it didn't take 40 years. It didn't take 30 years. It took 3. And it was a journey. It was a rough journey. We had setbacks. We had challenges. And it, the story doesn't end there, that we quit our jobs and all was rosy. There are bumps in the road that come, but we learned a lot, and finally we were able to quit. And now we run our own company. We have Momentum Property Education, where we help people from all over the world invest in property, and they've done it without these bumps in the road, right? They haven't lost those 400,000 pounds. Their deals are going well, because we've gone before and made those mistakes so they don't have to. And that's what we hope we can always do for you, to make sure your journey is as easy as possible. So thank you so much for taking this time to watch. I hope we get to connect with you again. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and thank you so much for taking the time to hear my story a little bit here. Hopefully we can connect again in the future.